So this is just gonna be a very, very chill conversation because I've been venting to my friends about something this week, and why would you guys have to miss out on the fun, you know? I mean, that would be a shame. So basically, I was talking to my friends, obviously, for my birthday last month, and I invited everyone to a dinner, and it just made me think because like half the people basically weren't in town here in Barcelona for that weekend, right? And the reason is that people just travel, you know? They're like, it seems to be more common than not that basically like when you are in the sort of class, which I want to touch on, in the class that I am, it seems more common than not that half your weekends are away. You're not stable in one place. And what worries me, and the reason that I've been sort of venting this week, is that it's not even just the weekends. It's basically a constant, perennial displacement that goes hand in hand with the how that displacement, like how the ability and willingness to make that displacement furthers your career when you are aiming from a white collar position to basically get into the professional managerial class. And the professional managerial class is the class that these people, and I myself included, that we sort of come from in terms of, you know, our parents and our families sometimes, not always. But basically that is the case, I think. And I really am curious, you know, I wish I knew more solidly sort of blue collar people my age, and just to see if this is the case for them as well. But I just feel like in this sort of downwardly mobile graduate class, if you will, this is the situation. And what like, I don't want to say triggered, but like what made me sort of spiral this week was like I was talking to, you know, one of my friends, and I just wanted to catch up this weekend, and she basically told me like she's leaving for a month. And the thing is, like, this is what I was saying before, like, it's not just weekends. Like, we are away for so long. Like, it's either normal, you know, to be just in and out of a city, or to make these comments. Like, I was in Italy last week, you know, with my family, and I went out, and basically my town is called Perugia, and it's, you know, obviously just provincial city. Like, it's not a capital, it's not somewhere where you would get a job easily. And so people are leaving. Like, a lot of people my age are leaving. The people in my family who are my age are leaving. I'm obviously not there. And I was going out, you know, with people my age, and one of them made this comment like, I'm thinking of going to Australia. And I just thought, like, seriously, like, what would possess someone to go to Australia randomly? Like, and I get it, like, I get it. It is a lot of the times, like, it is the material conditions that pushed you out of places. But what really, like I'm gonna be honest, this makes me so mad. Like, and it's not even personal. It's not like, oh my god, I hate this person. It's like, it's just generalized rage at this situation and at the fact that we are not resisting this. Like, we are justifying it, making excuses, thinking it positively, thinking positively our way out of this, and it's not a good thing, guys. It's not. It's really not. And honestly, like, I understand there are people who might enjoy it. I get it. Personalities differ, but not having the option of having a home at all sometimes, or of like staying in your home, I mean, honestly, like, I think that's a symptom of a very fucked up situation. And I think it is fucked up also because, like, being willing to do that, to displace, basically, to move for a job, is so important in how far you go in your career. Like, it's absolutely key in terms of how much money you're gonna earn, and obviously that completely defines your life, your future, anything you can dream of. And so, I don't know, I mean, it's really like the way that, like, I guess you probably have more of a chance to even get to a stage where you can do it if you are white collar, in terms of the jobs that I am surrounded by, in terms of the people that I've known at King's, for instance, at uni, etc., or that are in the journalism industry. But, like, I do think, you know, it mirrors the situation with blue collar jobs, which are obviously, I mean, they are not. That's sort of kind of the problem. In areas such as, you know, the Midwest in the US, or like certainly in Southern European countries, guys, like, there's not really any strength in those terms. And, you know, like, I think it's more common than not for a production to have moved away. But basically, yeah, displacement, whether in one class position or another, seems to be kind of the biggest deal, or one of the most important aspects that's gonna define where you end up, right? And that doesn't make for a very happy place to live. To me, it just doesn't. I remember we were doing this talk in Rome, like 2 years ago-ish, and basically they were saying, like, we want to organize, we want to build sort of solid, organizations, movements, etc. But, like, how the fuck do you organize, to be honest? Because people, I mean, maybe they're there for a few months, maybe they're there for a few years. Obviously, all the young people who can leave. And, you know, it's just emptied out. It is basically emptied out. So it's pretty hard to organize when there are no people younger than, you know, retirees. And that's one of the problems. But on a more personal level, basically, I mean, if you are a person with any sort of feelings, I truly don't see how you can be so thrilled about a world where you are basically just around, just hanging around, just moving. Whether that's literally moving or just traveling all the time, like, it's kind of annoying. Like, it's kind of annoying when you can't keep, like, a routine because so-and-so is away for, like, this week or, like, for this week. And, like, it's just weird. And especially, in my opinion, when you don't really have a home. Like, when basically you are from a provincial town, fundamentally you are sort of forced to leave if you can, because again, there are no jobs, but also, where is that town itself? So in that instance, say I wanted to go back to Perugia, how exactly? Like, for me, it's even worse because my parents really went for this, like, ahead of their time. They left this, like, gorgeous place in the middle of Europe to go to an archipelago along the coast of the African continent. And, like, no shade, but conditions are not great. Just keeping it super real. Like, it's really great to live in Europe, guys, compared to many other places. And so fundamentally for me, like, I had a huge crisis, like 3 years ago, it's gonna be now, where quite honestly, I would have loved to go back to my town in Italy. It really like hit me, the life I could have had by now, had I grown up there, had I gone there sooner, like the sort of life, I think, for many different reasons, that I would have loved. A home, children, a stable job, in something that I liked, because I wouldn't have to pay, like, the rent that I have to pay now, or that I had to pay in London. Life isn't so expensive, and most of all, a solid sort of original home, a real home, which to me is family. It is lifelong friends, and many of them, like, that actually have grown up together and stay in the same place. And the thing is, precisely to that point, is even, like, it's even worse, obviously, because now, how can I go back on my own, right? You kind of need help. Or, like, moving on your own to a tiny town with not many young people, it's harsh, like, it's not a very viable thing. And also with barely any, like, jobs in the field that I'm actually in, it makes for a very complicated situation. And the thing is precisely that even if I had grown up there, say I'm not me, say I'm someone whose family didn't take them away, that's where they stayed, that was it. Where are all the people? Because, like, the young people, they're leaving. So all of that sort of beautiful idea that I just described, sort of growing up with people, and my grandma, like, she has friends from when she was from when she was born. She's 95. I think that's amazing. I love that. And now, like, I see people my age from the same town, and they don't really have that, or not necessarily so, or it's different because, like, yeah, most of them don't live there anymore. Or let's say, you stay in a capital, you stay in, like, Madrid, London. Turns out, half the people there are not from the place, and they're probably gonna leave. And even the people from the place, which is astonishing, I think, like, even the people from these cities leave this place, which is so coveted at the moment for jobs. And so, it just makes for a situation that is so constantly fluid and just uncertain endlessly. And I don't understand if you care about developing deep, long-lasting relationships, like whether that be friendships, family, romantic, having children at all, to be honest. Like, I don't see how this situation of first of all, not having this original place to go back to, or even not having had it at all in my case, but also, not having the option really of creating one elsewhere. Truly, if you do care about, the depth and like the connection and the overtime development, if you care about those things, I truly, like, please enlighten me. How can this situation make you happy? A situation where, people basically like, there is no original place like this, no real home, and the place where you are, people either they move constantly or they travel constantly, or they are happy with the fact that their friendships live on a phone. Like, that is the case for some people. I remember I was talking to this girl, a former friend at work, and I remember she told me, like, she called me out. She was like, what are you trying to do here? Like, we're not friends. I'm like spending time with you guys, sure, because we just happen to be in the same place, but I have no idea if we're gonna be friends. This is a season. This is how relationships are. This is how things go. It's like, for a while you hang out with people and then it's over just like that. If you change jobs, which, by the way, I forgot to say that, but that's another thing. Now we don't stay at a job. Like, it's constantly like getting a new one. It's not like, oh yeah, I got this job, oh my god, I want to like invest in this company, I want to see this grow, this is like a long-term project. No, anyone I talk to is looking for a new job constantly. And again, please, like, tell me, how does this make you happy? Like, I mean, don't you have like feelings for like people and places, and like, do you want to like invest? I don't get it. And then the thing that like drives me insane, and like I feel like I'm taking crazy pills here, is like the people that are like, no, but think positive, like, you're just too negative. And I'm like, I know that, like, I'm a pretty negative person, but let's be honest, it's not a good situation. And truly, I'm wondering, what are you guys planning on doing, like, when you're older? Like, seriously, I'm, like, DM me or something. Like, I don't understand. Like, what's your plan? Because, like, I'm gonna give you another, for instance, obviously not making any names here today, but just spilling everyone I know. So this other person, late 30s, female, means you also you do have a limit on your fertility. Like, believe me, it is my personal nightmare as well, but you gotta kind of face it. And basically living in a studio alone for the first time, which, I mean, that's a whole other Pandora box. Alone for the first time at like late 30s, and goes on a trip to like Bali for 2 months. And apparently this was a normal thing for this person. And this is supposed to be a person who like wants to create a family. I also wonder how you plan on dating while you like basically leave everything for a tropical trip. Like, who are you gonna meet, like the people at the beach? I truly, like, what's your plan? Please enlighten me. And yeah, this is normal, guys. Like, it's not even the only person I know who's in this like mindset. It's apparently pretty common to to do this sort of thing, and I don't, and again, I truly don't understand. I truly don't. Yeah, I mean, even with the housing, like, comments, like, this just broke me, like, comments like, it's good that I'm now forced to have a flatmate because that means I have a push to like wash the dishes every day and they don't pile up. Like, oh my god, we're not doing well. Like, guys, I mean, please. Or like, you know, this idea that you are your own anchor, you know, it's just you, and so you should focus on yourself, you know, like the other things like will come and go, but like you are your own boat out in the open of the ocean, and all the rest is temporary. You know the worst thing? That's true. That is the case. The rest truly is temporary. And like, the problem I have with this is that like this person who made this kind of along the lines of this analogy, he was telling me this to like cheer me up and be like, you're too negative, you know, like you're your own boat, all the rest is temporary, like why would you like settle, basically. And you know, you would think this was only the people who are like, you know, willingly single, men who just are doing well in the dating market, and so they are enjoying this life. And so they say shit like that. No, guys, like, it's the conversation from this week is from someone who's getting married, and like they're still just moving around. Like, it's, you know, they don't know where they're gonna live. They don't know, you know, they don't even know the city or the country that they're gonna live in. And truly, I mean, you wonder again, what are you gonna do when you're older? Because like there is something that reminds me, and I get it, like I get how it's different, but like it does remind me of the Titan thing, where these people are just completely like oblivious to their humanity. It's like, you do realize you're a person, like there are risks associated to what you're doing, like what are you doing? You know, and like there is an inherent frailty that I honestly, like, again, if what you're doing is living on your own, in your late 30s, you're a woman, you say you want to have children, and yet your priority is a 2-month-long trip to some like tropical spot. I truly wonder what your plan is, you know? And I don't want to like put the blame on people, but I need to like make a comment here. I was saying before, like I think these are the children of, and aspiring, the children of the professional managerial class, and again I'm not excluding myself, and I think what we have wanted and what we are frustrated about is the fact that we couldn't get into the class, or at least not yet, and like we are waiting for this miracle, most of us, and many times it's not gonna come, guys. Like, we also have to get real about that too. And the thing is, like, it's very unfortunate, but the like majority of the left is now made of this class of people, right? And I think there is a class ambiguity there, where precisely the fact that what we are really aiming is to get into that class, like basically the fact that there is that class ambiguity there, where that's what we truly kind of want, I think makes us entirely unreliable to lead and form such a core part of a left project. It does. It does. And I think this is partly why we see so many in the universities go for the postmodern frame, which I hated, by the way. I'm very proud of myself. I was not even, barely in my 20s, and I already, noticed the, cold bullshit. I was like, nah, something's off here. Now I know why. Insightful girl, to be honest. I'm pretty proud of myself. But, basically, yeah, I think this is why they go for it, because it does keep you in academia. You're not really tackling anything substantial, you're just talking about the fact that you are I don't know, a woman, which I truly kind of struggle to understand how that's so interesting to you. My gender and my sexual orientation are honestly utterly uninteresting to me. I don't really care. But it's just I think the reason that there's and I'm not saying it should never be talked about. I'm saying it's truly impressive, not in a good way. It's really shocking. The amount of focus put on these things, completely disproportionate in my opinion. But I don't know. I think this is an example of how, in this class, you're trying to, either enter the class or stay in the class, or you're frustrated you didn't get into the class. And so, I don't think we're a viable core of a left project, or shouldn't be in that position, but we are. We truly are, unfortunately. And yeah, I don't get it. I truly I've been struggling with this scenario honestly forever, because I never was truly interested in this life. I calculated when I moved into my last flat, in 9 years by then, this is 2 years ago, in 9 years by then, I'd moved 12 times. 12. It's ridiculous. And obviously a lot of things that I've done, I've been able to do because my parents are kind of PMC. Believe me, I wish they had more money, but they do, I think, fit into that. And I've been able to do that, but again, you shouldn't even want to, you shouldn't even be put in that position, whether what you want to do is follow your dreams in a creative industry, which in Southern Europe is fucked. It's forget about, it's very bad place to do that. And whether you want to follow your dream, or whether you just want a job to get by and fucking build a life, you should never be forced to leave your home, and also if you wanted to go back, you should be able to. And this fragility of basically not having it puts you in a very, very difficult position, and honestly a risky one. Another thing related to this whole landscape is relationships. And I was with someone a few months ago talking about precisely this. I do that a lot. People probably hate me by now, I get it, but basically he was well, right, you don't have all those things, but your partner makes up for that. I was what? That is no life for me. And I see, that's the thing, I've grown up seeing that, and that is so sad. To me, it's the most unromantic thing I could think of. I love independence, and I love passion. And I love freedom. I do. And like, love shouldn't be about someone being your rock, which they are in this scenario. And especially it shouldn't be about being forced to stay. And like, like, as much as that would, say I wanted to move back to Italy, of course, like, something like that would have been helpful. Like, I've had my crisis, but like, the position you're in that relationship when you move somewhere and like, you don't know anyone and the other person does, that puts you in a very weak position. And honestly, same if you move to a new city with someone, like, I mean, you're kind of stuck with them, in a way. Like, it's not giving passion, and it's not giving free. It's giving, well, we have to rely on each other because it's kind of all we have. We're on our own, and it doesn't just go for romantic partnerships. Like, to me, it's also about friendships. It's a lot harder to kind of break up with a friend or tell them what you think and running that risk when you've moved into a new city and you don't really know those many people, and the ones you do know might move at any moment, and so sometimes you just take shit that you shouldn't, and you stay in things for way longer than you should. And it's because there isn't that kind of solid, like, home. It's nowhere to be found, nowhere to be created. And so, I don't know. I think it's just bad for everything. Like, it's bad if you want to connect. It's bad if you want to be free, ironically. It's bad in all ways, in all directions. And so, I don't know. Again, like, please enlighten me. I really don't get it. I really don't. Like, I don't like this. I give up on acting like I do. And so, yeah. These are just this is just brainstorming. I'm not having prepared anything. I don't have like a full conclusion. If anyone's interested and wants us at Meta25 to make a video on it or like interviews on it more specifically, although I do bring it up often, please do let us or me know. The other day I was watching The White Lotus season 3, which I just love The White Lotus. And I love a binge, as Daphne was saying, season 2. And Lori says in this scene with like the 3 blonde ladies at the table, she goes like, she talks about kind of looking for what gave meaning to her life, and being really looking for it in, I don't know, family, like children, or like work or love. And for her, apparently everything had gone badly. Can relate. And at the end, she says, time gives meaning, like basically time gives her life meaning. And she was saying this in a context of spending time with her lifelong friends, and kind of, they'd had their arguments and they were kind of just, feeling united and together again. And I've been thinking, because obviously I was crying when I was watching that. Who wasn't? I mean, are you a robot or something? And like, I've been thinking about it, and yeah, sometimes time does give meaning, and time, does kind of require some stability and some stillness, and some, in Spanish we say tierra firme, like the opposite of offshore is on land, And I do think time requires that, and to me, when I like pictured, like when I had my crisis like 3 years ago, I pictured having kids and like having a home and having a family, and like I'll be honest, it really felt magical to imagine it with someone I'd known forever. It did, and like I'm not saying you can't build it with someone new, but like when it's people that you've known forever, not just them but their family, and like there is history even like between the families and like with the place, and it's sort of like it's almost like an epic story that like you share together, and like I don't think I'll ever get that, to be honest, precisely because I don't really have that home. But there's something I think so beautiful about that just is so rare at the moment, to the point where you're not even like, if you don't have that already, you're not even like allowed to build it, even like, especially if you're on the left. I just feel like saying, like, to me, like I've only loved men who are like either Spanish or Italian, like I admit it, and like I don't even plan on making an effort to change that. Maybe it will, I don't know, but like to me there is just something that I love, and like I love a shared history, I love a shared like culture, and like you're not even allowed to say that, because like I mean oh my god, as a leftist you're supposed to hate Spain, please don't say you love this country. Like, stop. Like we're making it worse, than it already is. So I don't know, I just find the whole scenario like so devastating, and whenever I find friends or like people, acquaintances, honestly anyone, I'm just desperate to not be contradicted on this. Like whenever I find someone who like agrees or like gets it, it's great, because I'm like, oh my god, like I'm not going insane, like this is shit. And like I don't know, I truly, again, I don't understand how you can like develop like strong feelings for like things and people and places and be so careless about leaving them and not seeing them. I don't know. I've really been thinking about this, and I think we need to be far more serious about it, focused maybe on like discussing it, and stop making it a positive thinking problem. Like, it's not positive, guys. Again, it's bad. It's bad, like, it's objectively bad. And again, like, if you like traveling, I don't get it, because I've literally traveled the world. Like, you have no idea. I literally grew up partially on a literal ship, so I've been all over. So I'm also very unimpressed, might be that. I just don't get it. I just don't enjoy traveling. It's just stress for me. But if you do enjoy it, I mean, good for you. It's just, you should have the option of having a home, and like spending weekends regularly with like the same people, and I don't know, maybe with your grandma. Like, it's, yeah, it's, I hate this. This is the non-conclusion. Again, this is brainstorming. It's not my essay. But yeah, I definitely probably forgot something that I should say that is important. I have no doubt. But I mean, I can, I don't know, put this into a little script and maybe like go deeper into it, go more organized about my thoughts and the sort of actual theoretical and academic work behind this, because there is a lot. I'm reading Christopher Lasch, Haven in a Heartless World. maybe you can tell. I've really been getting into Eva Illouz as well. She's amazing. I'm gonna read now El fin del amor, The End of Love, from her. I'm very excited. And yeah, there's a lot of people talking about these issues who are absolutely brilliant. Catherine Liu, I mentioned her every single thing I do. Like, this woman, if she ever finds out about me, she's gonna think I'm like a stalker, but I'm just her biggest fan, you know. Ashley Frawley, also one of my favorites. So if you guys are interested, it's not just me who's gonna be talking about this. Please go look them up. More people should, especially if you're on the left. Please give them a chance. But yeah, this is it. Basically, she talked half the people I know, but it's fine. They deserve it. and probably told them to their faces, either willingly or just through my inevitable facial expressions. But yeah, this is it for today. And I hope I get to talk about this more in depth soon. I hope that you guys are interested, and I hope some tiny amount of people out there either agree with this, I think those are not such a tiny amount, or like actually say it, admit it, face it. And with that, bye guys. Thanks for listening to my rant.